All right, guys, how are you? Good morning. 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here. Let me get my microphone put on here. Forgot to do that. Nope, don't need that. You are looking at, well, it's still Invest98L, but man, oh man, I've seen the Hurricane Center at least give depression status to a whole lot less than what we have out there right now moving into Texas. Bottom line is it ran out of room before it could get that status over water. Now that it's over land, it'll be weakening a little bit. Still going to be a big rainmaker, but that is what we are tracking across the area right now. So what we're seeing now is, you look at the satellite, it looks really, really impressive at this particular point. But again, the center is basically now moving over land. So you can see here where the Hurricane Center has it, basically where the weather is. You can see right there, just southwest of Corpus Christi. So the center technically over land. Look at the wind arrows. They are all basically coming around. So we've got winds all the way wrapping around every quadrant. You've got a central dense overcast. That's a tropical depression. I mean, 4 hours ago, it was a tropical depression. So very, very close to it. It doesn't really matter what you call it. It's a lot of rainfall, and that's what they are going to be dealing with in South Texas. And be honest with you, I mean, obviously they could use it there. You can see all the heavier rainfall being consolidated now from Corpus Christi south. And this will kind of move off towards the west-southwest, so the heaviest rain will stay there. Mainly south of Galveston and up in Houston. You can see up at the top of the screen here. So not a whole lot of rain for those folks up north. It is going to be at best, it looks like now, over the southern part of the state. But look at that. I mean, that, right? I call it a duck, right? Walks like a duck, talks like a duck. Guys, that's a duck. That's a duck. It just ran out of time. Nice southeast flow on the backside, bringing a lot of moisture into parts of Houston and Beaumont. You know, those areas are going to be a little bit more humid than normal. All right, let's see. Let's go back over here to the models real fast, trying to make it a quicker video for you today. Here's the GFS model. Let me back it up here. Coming across Texas. You can see it's just going to be mainly South Texas that sees all the rainfall. European model is very, very similar. You can see it just keeps it by tomorrow. Let's go out tomorrow morning at sunrise. You can see it's almost moving into Texas. Mexico. So at least the center area, right? So it continues to drift off towards the west-southwest. That's Monday night at sunset. You can see South Texas will be clearing out. Rainfall totals. This is the European rainfall totals. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. You know, you get a good tropical storm coming through, and it's ultimately 4 to 6 inches, right? There'll be some spots that get upwards of 5 to 6 inches, but most areas will see a good widespread 2 to 4 inches. Unfortunately, the drought, look where this is, very southern tip of Texas. That area is not as bad, right? Just to the north of where the storm is going is where we have the worst drought conditions, and unfortunately, most of the rain is going to stay to the south of this, but hey, it was close. The rest of the tropics, let's take a look at it now. This is the GFS model. I'll just put it in motion for you. Not a whole lot, guys, and this is going to go out through almost the end of the month. Watch this area over here in the Western Caribbean. See that right there near Cancun and the southern Gulf of Mexico? Could be a little bit of lower pressure trying to get back into southeast Texas again by the time we get towards next weekend. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition, but if you look out here, you don't see a whole lot, and this takes us out through the 26th, 27th, and a couple little lows starting to see near the end of it that last week. Starting to see it. So let's take a look at the ensembles. This is the GFS ensembles. See that little low right there? Just one or two of the runs are trying to see some lower pressures by next weekend, trying to do something similar. But watch what happens now. This is Friday the 26th. You see a low here, low here. Again, we're not going to see this many lows, but this is the model running 20 different times, and a bunch of the runs are seeing something. So what this shows you is that, yeah, we're going to get some lowering pressures. That's the 30th of August, 29th and 30th. So bottom line, that last week of the month looks like we're starting to see a little bit of action. This is the last week of the month for the European. This is the 29th, and look at all of the lows it's got plotted on here. Again, don't look at any of these in particular, but just know that that means, here's where we are now. There's nothing, right? Here's where we are next weekend. Yeah, it's still picking up on something in the western Gulf of Mexico. We'll have to watch for that. Texas will, not Florida. But then look at that. You see that? That is the difference. That's the last week of August, and that's why I think we'll start to see some of that. All right, let's come over here real fast. I do want to show you this if you're in the Florida area, because we've got some rain coming in on our Sunday morning. You can see it's moving in from off the Gulf of Mexico. And this trend will actually work its way south and east through the morning hours, but Pinellas, Hillsborough, even parts of southwestern Pasco will see a little bit of rain, and then this will move off towards the south as we go through the rest of the afternoon hours. So I did want to show you that forecast model there. This is the RRR high resolution, but watch what happens. Let me see if I can refresh this, make sure we got the most accurate run here. So it's got some rain moving on now. Sorry, it's coming up, I promise. Some of that falls apart, and then look, by the time we get towards this afternoon, here comes another batch coming in, especially southern Pinellas County, southern Hillsborough, up in the eastern Pasco. You see it's working its way inland. So, it's not a rain out today, but certainly a decent chance for showers and storms. This is about sunset as we go through the afternoon hours. All right, guys, that is it. Yeah, so close. You know, so close to having a tropical depression on our hands. It's overland now, so it's not going to worry about it, but it is, and it's not having a lot of wind either. 20, 25 mile per hour winds is, you know, some gusts and some of those thunderstorms in that South Texas area, Corpus Christi, but that would be just about it. Okay, guys, have a great Sunday. Go Rays. I'm heading out to the game with the boys, so if you see me out there, say hello. We'll be over on the first base line. Big series against the Orioles right now since we're tied with them. Have a good one, guys.